Yeah, I think I like the classics. I like the Nat King Cole. I mean, Michael Bublé is not classic, but he sings the classics, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does it in his own weird style, too. I heard Michael Bublé after I heard Charles Trenet, who's the guy who originally sang La Mer. It's like the French guy.
Okay.
Beyond the Sea. So when I heard Michael Bublé and I heard that like slightly French-Canadian accent, and then it always seemed like it was a note off.
Oh.
So I was kind of mean when I first started listening to Michael Bublé, and I was like, he's just tone-deaf Charles Trenet. And then, I think I came to like his Christmas album.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of forgot what I didn't like about it, and now I just go, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty nice voice.
Yeah.
I saw this video of him doing impressions he did an impression of Johnny Cash and an impression of Elvis, and they're actually pretty good. I was impressed. He's talented.
Impression of Elvis?
He did an impression of Elvis and an impression of Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, I feel like would be difficult.
Yeah.
Because Elvis, you just have to be...
What do you think? So is this, I already forgot the name, this French dude, is that your favorite?
Charles Trenet?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No, it's kind of coming around. Maybe my favorite is Eric Idle.
Oh.
Because he did one Christmas song.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
Christmas, it's a waste of time.
What about...
I'm kidding. No, I like Christmas.
Paul McCartney's Christmas song. What's that one called? Do you know that one? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
If you heard it, you'd recognize it.
Yeah, probably. If I heard the name of it, I'd probably recognize it.
There's a part of the song where he's like, the children's choir sings their song. And then he says, like, they've been practicing all year long. And the kids start singing.
Yeah.
And all they do is sing, like, fa la la. That's all they do. And you're like, they've been practicing all year for this?
Well, it's making me think about, like, I just heard the guy from Pink Floyd say that, we used to go and recruit local kids choirs to sing the part in Another Brick in the Wall. Yeah. But, those kids had a cooler line than fa la la.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like Ding Dong or something like that. Anyways. Yeah.
All right. Let me open this thing up and then we'll go right back into the...
Yeah.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Welcome to the Forest Creek Podcast. My name is Raph and I'm your host. You want to take it from here, Chance? Do your part.
I'm just impressed that you got Bublé himself in the studio.
Yeah, it's Bublé, and our second guest is Kanye West, everybody.
Well, here he is. And there he goes. All right, see you later, Kanye.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Feliz Navidad.
Insert your religion here. Today is our first Christmas episode. I'd love to do more Christmas episodes, but this is a pretty important one. I just recorded another movie review kind of thing. It was more serious than this. With AD, we watched The Green Knight because that was kind of a Christmassy movie. At least it takes place on Christmas. Like I was telling you before.
Yeah.
The two readings of it is that it takes place on the day before New Year's and then it takes place on Christmas Day or in the middle of the Christmas celebration. And we forget that Christmas is the 12 days of Christmas.
Yes.
Between December 25th and January 6th.
Yeah. You'd think it'd be easy to remember with the song.
What? I mean, 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
You almost think it's the days leading up to December 25th. Like it's some kind of countdown. Because we only celebrate December 25th.
Yeah.
We just forget about the rest of the time.
Because,
It's New Year's. Now I gotta worry about the resolutions. I gotta, do all this other stuff.
Resolutions.
But apparently it used to be Hanukkah for 12 days in a row. You just keep giving each other... No, I don't think that's what happened either.
I don't even know, man. All I know is white Protestant Christmas.
White Protestant Christmas. All I know is Coca-Cola.
Oh, dang.
No, I'm kidding.
Santa
Claus himself originated in a number of different cultures. Like he had completely different styles and clothes and traditions. Like the Dutch kids would leave out, I don't know, carrots and stuff in their shoes for the reindeer to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard this thing that apparently, I don't even know if this is true because I have no sources for this, but I heard that in Venezuela at Christmas, people skate to church on Christmas.
Is it cold enough in Venezuela?
Well, I have no sources and I did not look into this further when I read it.
I mean,
what does skate mean in this? What do you think? Like, I'm like, there's no way it's cold enough to ice skate.
everybody just jumps onto skateboards, and
skateboards?
they're kick flipping down the
Is
street
that
to
it?
church. I don't know. I've never been to Venezuela. It might
neither.
drop that cold. I don't
I
know
don't
if
think
it
so.
does.
It's pretty close to the
We're in
equator.
Canada. Everywhere else is warmer than here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're in the warm part of Canada.
Shut up. Apparently, I just saw an article today that said Santa Claus is Canadian. He has a Canadian address.
yeah.
And he pays taxes in Canada.
Yes.
It's on my Instagram story right now. And underneath it, I wrote, it's called an offshore account, dummy.
Are you calling Santa the dummy?
Yes.
Oh,
Because he's paying taxes.
yeah. What's he even doing?
What are they going to do?
Yeah.
You're in the North Pole.
Well, his income. He probably reports his income is
That's what?
nothing, right?
12 candy canes. That's what I walked away with. I mean,
His income's a partridge in a pear tree. That's it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he capitalized off of. He's just getting money from Coca-Cola, and the whole
Yeah,
thing.
he's got
is,
the Coca-Cola deal.
And the whole reason why he runs the North Pole is it's a tax thing.
Yeah.
He's trying to get away, right? Because what happened was there was a bunch of different Santa Claus
Yeah.
traditions,
All right.
and then there was that in the night before Christmas that was written in like the 1800s, and then Coca-Cola decided, hey, he would be a great mascot to put on our Coke bottles because his colors are our colors, and it'll help us sell this drink that doesn't do so well in the winter. So now Coca-Cola is, they bought the rights to Santa Claus, and they pay St. Nicholas
Oh, yeah.
$1 million a year. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm kidding, but yeah, that's more or less the history of it.
Is there any other product that's like a specific product that's like attached to Santa? I don't think there is.
Not in that way.
Not in that way,
Like,
right?
people put Santa on lots of stuff,
Yeah, but yeah.
Santa as we know him, the design, it's Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that.
Right?
That's
He didn't
crazy.
even wear red and white in some of these traditions.
Yeah, he wears like green and brown.
Or like a black robe and like holly around it or
yeah,
something.
he looks like Radagast from The Hobbit.
He was supposed to be like Father Time at one point or
Oh my
something.
goodness.
Yeah.
The giant clock like Flava Flav around his neck.
That would actually be awesome.
I wonder, I guess all the various Santas probably battled it out. And that's how we got the Coke Santa. He won.
Just the multiverse of Santas coming through like other parallel dimensions.
Coca-Cola's got to get into
They
the
fought it out.
cinematic universe game and make a...
Just the
get in on
Santaverse.
this, yeah.
Dude, into the Santaverse.
So we got Tim Allen, obviously. Right? Who else is Santa? It's just Tim Allen.
A number of people have played Santa. I think there was like
But who's memorable?
I want to say Vince Vaughn played Santa in a
He was
thing.
definitely dressed up as Santa in a
He
movie.
was like a bad Santa or something.
That's a different movie.
Yeah.
There was Kurt Russell was Santa.
Kurt Russell was a great Santa. Did you see that movie?
I never watched
They
it.
did a movie where Kurt Russell was like his sleigh ran out of batteries or something, and he's walking around and he's like a Jesus Santa. He knows everybody's name.
Yeah.
And he's like so kind and
Wow.
all that stuff. He just walks around performing miracles.
This is just Jesus.
He just plays Jesus Santa in New York. He walks around performing miracles.
Wow.
And he gets people to believe in Christmas.
Oh man.
So that his sleigh can fly him back home. It's like an alien. Just
That's really
lost.
weird. Yeah.
Who else has played Santa? Can you think of anybody memorable? I feel like I've seen just on the street a lot of fat old white men with beards.
There was a movie that came out, I think this year or last year, where Mel Gibson played Santa. I didn't watch it,
That actually sounds amazing.
but it's like an R-rated action movie. He's
that's awesome.
He's like gritty Santa.
They just did some kind of Christmas series with the guy who I don't know his actual name, but the guy who plays the sheriff in Stranger Things.
David Harbour.
David Harbour, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. And he's like an R-rated Santa. What have been your favorite portrayals of Santa Claus?
Well, given that we just watched
Tim Allen's
The Santa Clauses.
The Santa Claus, this is the fourth installment of the Santaverse that's
Santaverse. This is setting it up.
the Tim Allen Santaverse, and it's a 5-part series. We watched the first 3 episodes. What do you think of this show? Like, is his Santa Claus? We were on the topic.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
mean,
think of his Santa?
honestly, like watching these movies as a child, seeing Tim Allen back on the screen as Santa Claus, it just felt right. I don't know. Like, he's not the classic Santa, but he's like, in my heart, it just felt right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those movies came out in like the early 2000s. I think the first one might have even come out
I think
like
it was in the 90s.
late 90s. Yeah. When I was a kid, one of the shows that I would watch with my dad all the time was Home Improvement. So I saw a lot of... I almost... every time I think about it, I want to call the show Tool Time. Because that's the fake show that Tim Allen's character has in the show.
Yeah.
And he's always like, it's always just tool jokes. And I remember I actually went back and I found the stand-up set that Tim Allen was doing, that an agent saw him do that and was like, that's the show.
Was it good? Was it funny?
Yeah. It was, well, here's the thing, it was that one bit. And that one bit exploded into a show.
Yeah. Well, I guess it had to be funny if they did a whole show.
Yeah. I mean, like, that was like back in the Seinfeld era where everybody was looking for the new show. Just pitch the show. You know, if you were good enough, if you were halfway good as a stand-up comedian, some guy would see you in some comedy club in LA and then offer you a deal. And then you'd work your bit from a bit into a 6-season show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's so he went from that to doing a bunch of minor roles and other things. He's done a lot of other movies. He's famous. Buzz Lightyear. He's the voice of Buzz Lightyear, the original one, before they did gay Buzz Lightyear, the new... I'm kidding. Well, that's what people really blamed the movie for. I didn't actually see it. I have no idea what their complaint is. Don't at me. I'm not going to watch it. I'm an adult. There's something wrong with adults that watch Disney things. We come here for some tourism. We're not Disney Plus subscribers. What are you big on Andor for? It's like, dude, grow up.
Andor's good, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I'm an adult. I stopped after the second Mandalorian. I was like, that's good. That's enough. I don't need any more. But
you claim to be an adult after watching 3 episodes of the Santa Clauses on Disney Plus.
But I watched them for nostalgia, which is, I guess, what everybody has Disney Plus for, to be honest.
Yeah. It was good though. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna watch the rest.
Me too. Yeah. Oh, that took me aback because I thought it would be goofy. Goofy. I thought it would be goofy, right? Which is what Disney is known for, literally the word. But
dang,
the
dude, you
writing,
just blew my mind.
Yeah. Right.
Crazy.
The writing is Tim Allen, right? So I thought it would be like really lame, but they did a good job. They actually did a really good job.
I mean, it's full of corny jokes. And
that was kind of its style.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same sense of humor that was in Home Improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
Is now in this. Because that's Tim Allen's bit.
Yeah, it's just corny joke after corny joke. And
fun fact.
Yeah.
Tim Allen in the celebrity world is known for 2 things. Being super into cocaine in the 80s.
Yeah, cocaine. Yeah.
And then being like one of the only conservatives in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Which is why one of his shows, Last Man Standing, where he's basically... It's not too different from Home Improvement, only instead of having 3 sons, he has 3 daughters, and he's just dealing with the modern problems of the day, and he's a guy who runs like a sporting goods store. More or less that same kind of premise, only the kind of angle on it is just it's a conservative middle American. Well, no, not middle American. He's in like Colorado or something.
That's close to the middle.
The writing on that show, as far as sitcoms go, and I've consumed an inordinate amount of sitcoms, it's pretty good. It's a pretty dang good sitcom. This is coming from a guy who sat through all of Fuller House.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm an insane person.
Yeah.
Because I watched the first one because I also watched Full House back in the day.
Yeah.
And I saw Bob Saget, who was like a super dirty comedian trying to button it up. And now when you look at him and be like, oh, that's Danny Tanner. You're like thinking of the cleanest, most family-friendly thing in the world. And then you hear Bob Saget actually do comedy.
Dad.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
He's the real Bob Saget before he was the real America's dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim Allen, same.
He's back.
One of the stars from that era.
Yeah.
He did a series of movies, the Santa Claus movies. The first one was like a fun pitch. I mean, I hardly remember it, but it's this fun story about this guy who has to become Santa Claus to honor his son's wishes and his son's belief in Santa and like, oh, the magic in the world and all this stuff.
And also he murdered Santa.
That's how it starts. He's just a random guy. He just yells at a guy on his roof.
Is that murder? Is that murder if you yell at someone and they fall?
Well, it seems like it was an accident.
Yeah.
Unless you were particularly yelling to kill them.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you prove that?
Yeah. So he kills Santa. He murders Santa in cold blood.
He causes a situation where this guy who shouldn't have been up on his roof slipped off his roof in the middle of winter.
I would argue he should be on the roof. He's Santa.
If you had no positive ID, this was just some guy on a roof.
Yeah.
And then he slips and falls down.
Yeah.
And right before he dies, he hands Tim Allen a card.
Yeah.
Scott Calvin, as his name is. SC, you pointed out.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he takes it, he like reads the tiny contract and becomes Santa.
Yeah.
And progressively gets fatter and whiter hair and all the magic powers. And then he has to, save Christmas. So that's the first movie. Got random guy becoming Santa. Mm-hmm. Second movie, random guy has to return to his home to find a wife because of the Mrs. Claus clause.
Yes.
In his contract.
Yeah,
Isn't that hilarious?
Like
Santa
zooms in on the card and there's
It's this tiny little contract. And it's got the Santa Claus, which is your contract of becoming Santa.
Yeah.
Then the Mrs. Claus clause, which is the second movie that you have to become, you have to get married. You need a Mrs. Claus. Then the third excerpt, the escape clause, which is what they did the third movie off of. I don't actually remember the plot.
I
just
barely
know
remember that one.
They brought the guy from Spy Kids to play Jack Frost, who was like the villain.
Are you sure it was Spy Kids?
I don't know. I'm just throwing a name out there.
I mean, I'm sure there was lots of crossover.
Maybe
But
it's
and then
the
this
Spy
one,
Kids verse.
This one is a Latin word that I don't remember.
The successes clause, which is now
He can retire
Santa
if
Claus
he wants.
may retire.
I said he can retire.
He can retire. He may retire. He is allowed to.
Yeah, but he has to find a replacement.
He has to find a replacement, which is what this show is about. We saw the first 3 episodes where it's I don't know the actor's name, but he's the one who played Kumar in Harold and Kumar.
Was
you know
it?
exactly who I'm talking about.
Was that really him?
Yeah, that was the same guy. He was also he played
Oh, man.
Robin's boyfriend in the How I Met Your Mother series.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite the
Perhaps the
IMDb page.
crowning point of his work is Harold and Kumar went to White Castle.
Until now.
Yeah, until now. Now it's the Santa Claus. Because he's the guy who's on deck to be the new Santa Claus. So what do you think of this whole plot?
I mean, it's nothing like groundbreaking, I don't think.
I think it's very established in the Santa lore now.
But it allows for lots of hijinks and funny moments.
That's what I like about this show. Instead of being one movie, they've broken it up into those episodes.
Yeah.
And the episodes, they're fun. I don't know. Do you think maybe they're not even done? What if they're just releasing one every week leading up to Christmas? That could be very possibly what it is. It doesn't seem like the show is over yet.
Well,
We could tune in next Christmas for
the
next season of the Santa Claus.
5 per Christmas.
But what is I don't think it's done. What if it's like they're gonna keep releasing?
You think so?
Another episode every week or so up until Christmas.
Maybe 12 episodes.
That sounds awesome. But Tim Allen's the Santa Claus. The sitcom feel to it is, I think, what really kind of brings it alive. I think Tim Allen thrives in that environment. His style of comedy, you know,
just blasting off jokes.
Yeah, just keep rattling them off.
Yeah,
you know, because that's what a lot of broadcasting stations complain about, the way that, like, you know, The Simpsons or The Family Guy is that nothing serious is happening. That's because to keep their show, they have a joke quota where they have to fit in a number of gags and laughs every minute. Otherwise, they don't get to stay on the air.
Yeah.
Which is why those shows are the way they are. It's insane. It's not strictly like that, but that's a big thing. It's like, hey, we noticed our audience is not engaged with the show. We're losing viewers. We're going to have to cancel you.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep them, keep rattling off these jokes the whole way through. Some people do a really bad job of it. Fuller House. Some people do a great job of it. Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's right back in this groove. But I don't know. It's so interesting just seeing this franchise from my childhood that's been brought back, because it kind of made me think about the timelessness of Santa.
Yeah.
How he stays the same.
Yeah.
The world around him changes.
Yeah.
It's all the thing.
That's a theme in the show for sure.
Yeah.
And it is interesting because like it's new, it's HD. Tim Allen's like 68 years old.
I don't know how old he is right now, but he looks old. He's like really
like things have changed, but it still felt to me like I was watching the Santa Claus. Like it felt like corny. All the elves are kids. You know, it's just everything felt like the same in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm actually like kind of impressed by this show.
Yeah, me
the writing
too.
of it. Like
Yeah.
I was taken aback. I was like, oh, this is actually well done.
I mean, it's definitely corny. It's definitely for kids. Like
It's not the utter garbage that Disney Plus has also put out. So, have you seen She-Hulk?
oh, I will never.
God help us. God help us. That was the worst show known to mankind.
Oh man,
I dare you to watch just 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes of She-Hulk.
Which one's that?
They're
Which one
10
has
minutes
the,
and they're still insufferable.
The episodes are 10 minutes?
Yeah, they're really short.
What?
But the show is insufferable. It's horrible.
Which is the one where she twerks?
Number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to know how it ends? She walks into a writer's room and complains about how bad her show is.
I heard about that.
It's so bad.
Now I wonder, would Tim Allen, Santa Claus, twerking make it better or worse?
Well, I laughed when you said that.
Yeah, I think
I feel like if Cardi B showed up like she did She-Hulk in the Santa Claus world
As
and
herself.
taught Santa how to twerk, because that's the show is he's trying to acclimate to regular life now.
Yeah.
The Santa family is finding a replacement, moving out of the North Pole, and trying to re-assimilate into American life.
Yeah.
So if part of that process is Cardi B teaching you how to twerk, I already think that should be the citizenship test.
I'm curious though, because like the episode we ended on, it ended with them like getting to Chicago.
Yeah.
So we haven't actually seen them live in the city in the real world yet, and I'm wondering like how much of that is gonna be dated memes, you know? Like remember in Black Panther when she was like, "What are those?" to his shoes. Remember that?
I mean, I don't think they're gonna have that hard of a time doing it. They've already kind of touched on it a little bit. It's not too crazy because that kid's like fascinated by going to the post office. You know, so I feel like it's not going to rely too much on the memes. You could make that mistake.
A lot of those things, like a lot of the references that kid made, were like anyone could understand them.
You could have made them in the 90s.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he wasn't referencing Tumblr or something.
Yeah, he did also have an Oculus on his face for most of his screen time, which is like the kid is half in the normal world and half in the metaverse.
The metaverse.
Oh my god, dude! There's this one joke in it where that elf goes, "No, Santa's really into NFTs."
Yeah,
and it's like a joke where she's just going like nutty fudge something.
Yeah, something like that.
Nutty fudge tarts or something.
Something like that.
And I was like, but there's like a pause in between it that we both just looked at each other.
Is this really happening?
I was like, this is the best thing anybody's ever done. It's just straight bull-faced and elf telling you Santa likes NFTs.
Yeah. Then scene ends. Cuts to the B plot. You're like, what?
It's Tim Allen Santa just admiring a bored ape. He's like, I have 3 CryptoPunks and 4 of these. I'm in the yacht club, baby. He's just explaining to one of them. It's like, so here's what we'll do with elf coin. And we just
elf coin.
Oh my god.
There was a scene. There's lots of things in this show where it caught me off guard, but I'm like, what? That's like, I didn't point this out when we were watching, but in the very first episode, when they're like elves are on like mission control, Santa's out doing his thing.
Elf-Con 5.
Yeah, one of the elves says to the other one, he says, "An elf's got an elf."
Yeah.
Which,
we were making fun of it. We weren't really paying that much attention, but I remember that line. It's just like, an elf's got an elf.
That doesn't make any sense. I would never say a human's got a human. Who said? People don't say that.
Chance has got a chance.
Like, why would an elf say that about himself? That's way. I don't know. It just kind of.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So
it was weird.
Are you stereotyping yourself as an elf?
Also,
on the shelf,
the elves are racist against gnomes.
That was funny.
Yeah.
The elves themselves.
Yeah.
Pretty diverse.
Yes.
I think that was one thing that the Santa Claus did. You know, the original movies even.
Yeah.
They had.
Yeah.
Pretty diverse cast.
Yeah. And they're all children, which makes it feel a little weird sometimes when they're talking about their home life with their spouse.
I mean, that's true. But I was just examining, it's like, would you feel weirder if it was little children or just small people, short people?
I think I'd feel weirder if it was little people.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think that would be weirder.
A little bit.
That would almost feel like exploitation.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you have two choices.
Well, the other option is
child slavery.
The other option is like shrink him down like they did in Elf.
Right.
Remember Buddy's dad was tiny compared to him?
Yeah. I feel that one's pretty weird too. That's like, that's your choice. You have children,
Yeah.
dwarves, hobbits.
Yeah.
So which one?
Which way are you gonna go?
Can we make it like goblins? I would replace all of them with goblins.
Just green skin, forked tongues.
They're stop eating candy. It's carnivore Christmas now.
Oh my goodness. That's probably one of the alternate Santas that Tim Allen had to fight in the Santaverse. Goblin Santa.
That would have been sick.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want this Santaverse movie, Into the Santaverse.
So we got Tim Allen fighting. We got Mel Gibson from the R-rated one where he's got like guns and he's an assassin or something.
We've got Jeff Bridges doing miracles. Vince Vaughn.
I don't think he was Santa. I think he just dressed as Santa in like the Wedding Crashers or something.
I think he was supposed to be like Santa's, Santa's brother or something who has to fill in. Yeah.
It was like Fred Claus or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Fred Claus.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my cat.
Yeah. Need to get that?
Yeah. He's the supervisor here. If you were to pick up the mantle of Santa Claus, what kind of Santa Claus would you be?
Is Goblin Santa? No, I don't know. I mean, for some reason, my first thought went to like sci-fi, like cyberpunk Santa.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just have like, Santa Claus, but with like robot arms.
Yeah, and he's like tatted up. I don't know. I had to picture him tatted up for some reason.
North Pole 2077.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen Arthur Christmas? It's like an animated Christmas movie.
I didn't watch it, but I remember the posters about it.
Yeah, Santa's got like a super high tech kind of setup going on in that one. And it's kind of, I'm not sure I actually liked it now that I'm talking about it.
Yeah, it's kind of more fun to have the magic.
The classic magic stuff, yeah.
When I was a kid, I was enthusiastic about the idea of waiting in the night behind the couch, waiting until Santa Claus would show up, and then springing some kind of trap to
catching him. What was your plan when you caught him? What were you gonna do when you actually caught him?
Think about the amount of power this guy has. Mr.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop.
It's going at that chair.
Kick your ass.
Yeah, the power that
like
Santa
he wants
has.
to get let out now.
Okay, so you catch Santa. Step 1, what do you do?
Step 2, interrogate him. Find out, how are you doing this?
Wow.
Where do your powers come from?
Yeah.
You're stopping time? How are you hitting all these houses in one night? How many Santas are there? Just hook them up to a car battery and a couple of jumper cables.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You gotta go hard. Waterboard Santa.
But then you try to talk to him and he just speaks like Norwegian or something.
I just do that thing in Call of Duty Black Ops. I just put a piece of glass in his mouth and hit him.
The Santa's Mason.
What do they mean? The snowflakes. No, but just brainwash him. But hey, that's a lot of power. This guy can see everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Well, so he's got like world.
All that we know is that he can see you when you're sleeping.
That's a lot of surveillance right there. I'm just saying.
And he knows when you're awake.
He's got some kind of detailed list that tells you whether you've been naughty or nice all year.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
What's
the? Yeah. Based on what?
Based on what? Who writes the naughty or nice list? Is it Santa? Does he get it from God?
Yeah. Well, I think he probably meets up with Jesus.
And Jesus just gives him the lowdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's gotta be a pretty wild moment for Santa every year. Just gotta measure up.
Do you think Santa?
Cat, stop. Whatever.
Just going at it.
Just mishmash.
Must have the Holy Spirit, right?
I don't know. One of my favorite moments from any Christmas themed thing was Family Guy Christmas, where there's this two-parter where Stewie wants to kill Santa Claus.
Right.
So Brian has to take him on the road to the North Pole. It's a great two-part episode. And they get there and the whole place is like run down by industrialism.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, it was easy to make a wooden toy. Have you tried making an iPhone? They do like a singing number of like, Christmas time is killing us. I used to watch it with my sister quite a few Christmases. But there's this one part where like Santa's got cancer. He's like dying. His job is just, the stress is too much for him. So he's just in bed. It's like, Santa Claus, don't go. We need you for Christmas. And he's like, don't worry, Brian. I'll be with Allah soon. That was one of my favorite.
Oh, Santa's Muslim.
That's why Santa never eats pork. I don't know. He's probably Norwegian. You're probably right.
Or Inuit.
Well, that's the thing. There's a competition. I think the leading ones are Greenland, and I guess Norway, and then Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alaska. The U.S. would,
that's cheating.
For a little
though.
while.
That's cheating. That's
You're not
messed
high
up.
enough up there.
No, I mean they're cheating. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be somewhere up there in the northwestern archipelago.
I'm pretty sure we have the North Pole.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. I'm gonna make that claim. Official, the Forest Creek claim. Canada has the North Pole.
Hey, Santa Claus is actually Russian.
Oh my goodness.
He's in the Kremlin for the rest of the year.
I don't think he's safe there.
Putin tried to have him assassinated.
Santa's
What
just...
if he was like an even more hardcore than Putin was? Santa's like an OG communist. All the children get a present.
Wow.
That was actually back in high school. One of the first major debates that I did. We used to do silly ones all the time. My most educational experiences with it. This is how I grew to learn about economics. Was we had a question to debate off of. Is Santa Claus a capitalist or a communist?
Oh. And which I mean, I could see arguments on both sides, but which side were you?
Well, I had to do both sides because that was the whole point. But
Right, you switched sides. But
I
then
think
what was your preferred side?
that's where I first learned about Coca-Cola. His whole image. It's branding.
Yeah.
Communists don't have this.
No. But did he ask to be Coca-Cola?
He signed a contract.
That's true.
I mean, you would have had to.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola's not dumb. They need legal protection.
For
You
sure,
know what
especially from the big man himself.
Have you ever met an elf lawyer? I mean, I don't even know if that's a thing. Yeah, so is Santa Claus a capitalist or a communist? I like there's something to the communist idea.
Yeah,
of
there
like
definitely
every
is.
kid is visited by Santa Claus.
However,
right.
he does rank the children based on their behavior.
He gives things for free. But I mean, like, does Santa Claus have a favorite child? Because you're just naughty or nice.
Charlie.
You're not like
We saw it.
Yeah, his son.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is Christian. That's the real.
Okay, but he gives gifts to kids, but he will give only good gifts to the children who have earned it.
Hey, man, I don't know if you heard about coal energy. Coal is the good gift.
Coal is the good gift. After the world is taken over by that guy's drones from the show, we all need coal power.
Because that's part of the plot is guy who used to play Kumar is playing now.
He's like a tech.
He's like an Amazon. He used to make video games and toys, and now he has a company that he delivers toys.
Yeah.
It's like a
At the
proto
beginning
Amazon.
of the show,
Yeah.
At the beginning of the show, he's got like a pie chart, him and his like investors, and they're like, there's 17% of the Christmas market share. We don't know where it is. We don't know who has that.
It's like Walmart, Amazon, Google, and then there's like his company, all that stuff. And then there's 17%. We have no idea what's going on. Hey, how about people going to the store? They just go to the store.
It's Santa. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand. How can Santa have a market share if he doesn't charge anything for the toy? Could you imagine if he got billed for the toy, for whatever you got brought, you got billed for it? That's capitalist Santa. But at the same time, it's like Christmas itself is a consumerist holiday in North America.
In its current form.
Yeah, you buy the
for
presents.
Sure, for sure.
We have a new deal for each one of the 12 days leading up to Christmas. Mm-hmm. People literally do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who? Name one.
Name. The Daily Hive
Oh, wow.
is doing giveaways every day Christmas for a different company that is sponsoring them to do the giveaway.
Each day has a different sponsor?
Yeah, they started doing it. Now you can go on to the Daily Hive and participate in contests to try to get one of these things.
What do they had so far?
It's mostly like date stuff. You
Figs.
could win a night in blah, blah, blah.
Dates and figs and other various
No, I mean the event. A date, not the
tree-based.
dried desert fruit. Point being, I don't know. Tim Allen's Santa,
We're back.
definitely a capitalist. It's Tim Allen.
It's Tim Allen.
It's Tim Allen.
It was a really funny joke
He's a conservative.
in the last episode with the angel dust.
That was like actually,
That's probably the best
do you
joke.
think someone else in the writers' room came up with that, and Tim's just looking at them like, "This guy,
You're trying to dig this back up.
you're trying to do this again."
I guess if you can joke about it though, you kind of want to be in the position where you can joke about that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder if Santa's looking at his naughty list and he's like Hillary voters or something. Like, what is he? There's that one part where he visits an adult
Yeah.
in the beginning, and we were kind of joking around. It's like the adults who probably still believe in Santa Claus
Yeah.
are the same adults who are subscribed to Disney Plus. It's like, you believe in Thor, don't you? It doesn't.
Yeah, Santa Claus and Norse god.
I mean, that would make sense if it was Odin this whole time with the glass eye
Yeah.
in.
Nah.
I don't know, Santa Claus with an eye patch is a pretty sick.
That's another Santa in the fight, right?
It's Odin
Eye patch Santa.
It's amazing.
So you got Tim Allen, we got Vince Vaughn, Mel Gibson, Goblin
Yeah.
Santa, Eye Patch Santa.
The classic Christmas story is insert character here now has to save, quote unquote, save Christmas by
yeah.
either doing Santa's job or
Yeah.
assisting him in doing his job.
Yeah.
We've seen that trope across so many things. There
Yeah.
is a Kiss Saves Christmas cartoon. By
Oh,
Warner
Kiss,
Brothers.
like the band.
Kiss the band.
What the heck?
Like Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
kind of, all right, let's do it.
Wow.
I don't know
When-
how to do his voice, but you know.
That was good. That was pretty good. I thought.
Really?
Yeah, that was like Michael Bublé earlier.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Michael, we didn't give you a mic.
Yeah. Well, I got him here to sit quietly.
Yeah.
You can go outside and talk to Kanye if you want. The Santa Claus. So, okay. Is he a capitalist or a communist?
We're still on that?
I don't know. What's your answer? What do you think?
Capitalist.
Capitalist.
Yeah.
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 That's the thing about
I could-
Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't think he's like. Do you think he's a super.
I don't think he's a materialist to begin with.
Hmm.
You know?
Too much magic going on, right? Too much ethereal.
Yeah.
Like-
What's your money? They don't even pay in dollars up there. They
No,
pay them in fudge,
fudge.
apparently.
Yeah.
That
fudgy
cop scene
cuts.
was hilarious. There's this one scene where he walks into on this elf who's supposed to be like North Pole security. He's like
Yeah.
a cop. He's got an eye patch. He's
like a
drinking out
grizzled
of the
detective,
syrup
yeah.
bottle, but he's also 11.
He's like swigging a Mickey of
It's like-
syrup. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's such a great scene, dude.
Fudge it cuts.
I like that last bit. It's like, and lay off the syrup. Like that sold the character to me so hard. I was like, I'm in. Yeah,
He needs his own spin-off.
I can see where they're just kind of like improvising a little bit, like that witch scene in the forest. I was like, all right, do we
felt,
really need to add this
Yeah.
to the thing?
Yeah.
Where's the Christmas? I've never heard of a Christmas
The
witch.
Christmas witch. Well, they said it was. She used to like go all around different European countries, so maybe I guess it must be.
She was the OG Mrs. Claus.
Wow.
Just kidding. Who knows?
I can see that they're making a
That's-
big
that'd be
deal
a
about who was the
pretty-
last Mrs. Claus.
That'd be a pretty sweet turn of the plot, right
Yeah, I could see that
there. Yeah.
because the description of the 5th episode was. What was it? It was like
He revisits the.
he like discovers the real reason he became Santa or something
yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Do you think the real reason is that the previous Santa was suicidal and threw himself off the roof?
My prediction was that he's caught in a time loop where he goes back in time somehow to try to get himself to never become Santa Claus in the first place, and then he falls off the roof and becomes the impetus of himself
Yeah.
becoming Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And he's just stuck in this horrible time loop until he enacts the Santa cycle, and then he dies.
We had that scene, I think, in the second episode, where he fell off the roof it was the end of the first episode,
Yeah.
I think, right? Where he fell off the roof like the old Santa did. And then
I was like, is he dead?
his elf buddy Noel just yelled at him.
Yeah, resuscitated him with volume.
So I wonder if in the original movie, if Tim Allen had just yelled at Santa, he would have woken up.
Santa was like a little bit awake because he handed him a card.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't really remember, but it was like,
Yeah.
is that how you become Santa? You either get picked, you get elected Santa, or you are killed in combat.
him.
You're just
Yeah.
you give it up. That was the Norse Viking tribes would like fight over who gets to be Santa.
Yeah.
It was like the biggest, scariest barbarian in the clan would win against Norse Santa.
And then what?
It's just another one of the Santaverse, man. Just another one of the rogues gallery of Santas.
Ripped Viking Santa? Yep.
Yeah, man. Just heavy metal Santa.
So if Goblin Santa, if his elves are goblins, and he's also a goblin,
Yeah.
is he a big goblin? Or is he the same size as his elves?
I mean, you run D&D. He's a hobo goblin.
Yeah.
Hobo
Hobgoblin.
goblin. I like hobo goblin.
Hobo goblin.
Explains the beard. I don't know. It's probably a hobo Santa.
Huh. I think I saw him last time I was in Vancouver.
I think I see him every day in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing here? It's July.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've also seen quite a few Santa-looking gentlemen walking in and out of an IHOP before.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been. I think that's they're prepping for just one time a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like seeing the people waving, like the Salvation Army people that stand outside the stores. They're like slowly replaced by Santas. They start out at the beginning of December. They start out with like end of November. It's like regular people in fall clothes, and then it slowly morphs into just Santas. At least that's been my experience with the Salvation Army. I don't know if there's a stratagem to this.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's turning up the heat. You never want to say no to Santa.
Well,
somewhere out there is a Santa Claus played by an old Jack Black.
Yeah, I see that in his future.
Right?
For sure.
That's when he gets to Tim Allen's
For
age.
sure. I bet Jack Black is as old right now as Tim Allen was in the first Santa Claus.
That's not impossible.
Yeah.
Not impossible. If he does that, he has to somehow fit Kyle Gass in it.
Yeah.
So that we have both halves of Tenacious D in the North Pole.
Yeah.
He could be like the head elf.
Yeah.
They'll shrink him down in post. Like they did in The Hobbit.
It's a perspective and all those fancy tricks.
Did we get around to like what kind of Santa you would be if you were Santa? You said 2077 Santa.
I said 2077 Santa.
Which I'm not sure makes sense.
I don't think it makes sense. And actually, I think I dig the vibe, but I don't actually like. I don't actually like. The magic needs to be there.
Then
you know.
What if that's what powers all the technology? Santa with Neuralink.
I still don't like
He's
it.
a Neuralink Santa.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently they're getting investigated right now.
I saw that for all the animals that they've slaughtered.
I was telling somebody earlier today, I don't know about animals that they slaughtered.
Yeah,
but if you're putting wires in a brain, there's a really thin line between this is just ethical experimentation and oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
Whoops. It's brain surgery.
It's
on a chimpanzee.
It's a bold move to mess with something that we barely understand like that.
If they get FDA approval, they can start doing the human testing.
Oh boy. Do you think they'll get it?
Not now. I think there's a lot of heat on Elon, so they're just targeting stuff.
Do you think Neuralink could be used to produce a real life Santa
I'm not gonna
Claus?
lie. If I was Elon's social media, I'd just be like, this FDA thing, this investigation's got a lot of hater energy. I'm not sure, y'all. But yeah, once you put that in,
10% booze.
You know everybody who's naughty and nice.
Do you think they could use Neuralink to like produce a real life Santa? Ever thought about this? Use Neuralink to unlock, like what was that movie with Scarlett Johansson where she unlocks the full potential of her brain and make real.
And somebody who puts in the Neuralink 100% their brain, and instead of turning into like the air like Scarlett Johansson, they just become Santa Claus.
That's the potential all of us are. Yeah. Every human is somewhere on a spectrum from like dust to Santa.
Angel dust.
I think I like the cyberpunk Santa vibes, but I like the magic and the classic stuff. So I think classic Santa. I think like classic Santa, like 1930s Santa, you know, like
Yeah.
he's still classy, you know, he's got maybe some helper elves and stuff,
I don't know if is 1930s pre or post Coca-Cola? I think it's post.
Post Coca-Cola.
Post Coca-Cola.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. I mean, Coca-Cola would have existed. I'm just not sure that marketing thing.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
Santa's got the big sleigh,
in the red suit.
red suit. Grinch. The Grinch would be in the Santaverse. When Grinch is
In Chance's Santaverse?
dressed up as Santa, and he's got the huge sack of all the Who's toys on the back.
He's like a rogue character because, you know, he's not really Santa himself.
Yeah, he's a wild card.
Yeah.
What's
They're actually making a horror movie right now about the Grinch.
Oh.
Like a live action horror movie.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah. They're doing one for Winnie the Pooh.
I saw that. I don't know how I feel about that either.
They look like the same movie, to be honest.
What kind of Santa would you be?
Listen, we have all this infrastructure, all this power,
Right.
all this capability, all these resources,
Yeah.
and we're only working for 1 month out of the year. Listen,
Wow.
look,
Yeah.
it's time some of these elves, we started thinking about side hustles, stuff that we could do throughout the rest of it. Hey, you just gonna sleep, eat candy?
Yeah.
We can do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No way, dude.
I'm thinking contracts with the Pentagon.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, you have state-of-the-art surveillance systems all over.
We saw that elf teleport around the dude's house.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
There's just
That's powerful.
you have the world's most powerful operatives at your disposal.
Yeah.
You have literally flying machine and assume like teleportation and time technology. You're in a completely unreachable location. I'm just wondering, like, can NORAD even catch Santa?
No.
NORAD, the Northern Missile Defense System, and all that. They can't catch Santa.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
No, he's been under their noses for years.
Yeah.
Nobody can touch me.
No.
I have like a little rogue country in the North Pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sovereign state.
We become the new Swiss bank.
Wow.
Become the new Swiss bank.
This is good.
I start buying stakes and stuff around the world. And if here's what I'm not a bad boss. I let the elves take vacations to our places in the Cayman Islands. Just send them on. Go see the world.
Yeah.
Come back and learn. I'm side hustle Santa.
That's good.
Yeah,
Side
you have
hustle
all the
Santa.
infrastructure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just get involved.
sure.
I actually get into NFTs.
Yeah. You begin toppling South American governments.
It's like I'm doing it for like no reason.
You just, instead of like toppling dictatorships or like, you know, communist uprisings and putting in whatever democracy,
I'm just talking.
you're toppling governments and putting in like Santocracies.
Santocracy. Everybody believes in Christmas now. And then we get into like some really dark areas. Santa gets involved in Israel.
Santa takes a stance on the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Okay, I'll saw myself there before we do Christmas in Ukraine. Oh man.
What else would Santa get his dirty little fingers in?
What Raph Santa would get his
side hustle Santa.
Side hustle Santa.
Yeah.
I'm by far the most powerful Santa in the Santaverse.
Well, in some ways. Probably in most ways.
Yeah, in most ways.
I don't know.
I actually have a market share.
Yeah, but you get cornered by ripped Viking Santa.
I don't know. I have predator missiles.
That's true.
That's another thing I'm introducing to the North Pole. State-of-the-art weapons brought to you by Raytheon.
I just
elves would be
launched-
like, "What's this new toy, Santa?" And I'd be, "It's a Chris Vector 45 ACP." Just get real into it. This is a predator drone. See this white thing? That's a thermal image. This is your targeting system. We already have ElfCon. We already have like the command control center that tracks stuff that flies around. It's perfect.
There's like thermal imagery, like black and white footage of like, you know, some like Black Hawk helicopter mowing down ISIS
telling
dudes,
me-
but instead it's Santa's sleigh.
We use this infrastructure once a year. once? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, and for what?
For what?
For what?
Look, I'm not saying I'm not still going to deliver
fudge?
presents,
Yeah.
but I can put a lot bigger financial backing behind those presents.
A lot more fudge into the
do
pockets of
a
elves.
little bit of side hustle, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit of side hustle.
And the great thing about the elves is they don't need cash. You pay them in fudge, right?
I feel like they would discover cash. They would discover cash. They might discover a union.
Nah.
And then...
You're shutting that down quick.
Oh, yeah. They'll then discover
Yeah.
black bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. The North Pole is going to become Santa's black
They'll
site.
discover the elf Stoppo.
Elf stop. Now I'm Nazi Santa. Hey, somebody in the Santaverse is a Nazi Santa Claus.
Oh, that's for sure Nazi Santa.
There's
I'm
for
sure
sure-
Hitler had that plan, right?
It's Kanye West. It's just,
He's not black.
well,
I don't think Nazi Santa's
hey
black.
man, I think Kanye is pretty charismatic. What if, could you get in trouble now for like saying the same thing that Kanye said about Hitler about Kanye?
I love Kanye.
Do you?
No,
I love Kanye.
I'm just
I
picturing
love
it.
everybody. There's a lot of good things about Kanye.
Yeah. I don't know. No,
Yeah.
I don't think you would get in the same trouble he did. He
No.
is getting in.
It's a weird take. I never actually listened to any of Kanye's music. Like I stumbled across one of his songs and I was like, "What is this?"
I'm not a big hip hop rap. I'm not
Yeah.
really into that.
So I can't like pretend that I care
Yeah.
too much when he does this. I was
It's fun
like,
to watch though.
yeah, it was. Hey, out of all the music and everything he's ever
Yeah.
done, now I'm interested. Now
Yeah.
I'm looking at. You got my attention.
I feel like Hitler must have had like a
I just love that he went on Infowars
yeah,
and Alex Jones was
just like
like,
backpedaling.
I don't know about
Trying to
this,
cover
man.
cover their ass.
I guess I would love to talk about it more, but one of the Santas out there is Alex Jones.
Okay,
Alex Jones would make an amazing Santa Claus.
I wouldn't say it makes an amazing Santa.
Here you go, little Billy. Supplements. There's a war on for your mind.
I wonder what. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on Nazi Santa. Like, I wonder if Hitler would have had Hugo Boss design a new Santa outfit.
Bro, that actually sounds amazing.
It would have been sick, I bet.
Hey, Balenciaga Santa,
Wow.
I'm in. Let's up the fashion.
Santa in a big, long black Mercedes. Just rolling up.
It's the next step in the body positivity and fashion movement. It's now a catwalk of just these fat old white men with a beard who walk out and they do different Santa outfits.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
These all look pretty similar. They're all red and white.
That's the statement.
Oh. That's the cameras of the taking the photos of the.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
What other Santas in the Santaverse does Tim
feel-
Allen have to compete with?
Oh man. Well, we obviously know that Tim Allen wins because we've seen the movies.
He can't not.
Yeah.
He has that sitcom magic.
So it's kind of like Andor, which I like. You haven't seen, but
haven't seen.
we know how it ends because we've seen Rogue One.
Yes. People die.
So it's like we know that Tim Allen wins.
There's some sort of nuclear blast involved. He sacrifices his life to save Christmas.
This is totally unrelated, but I just read today that Christopher Nolan is working on his movie about Oppenheimer. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about his Oppenheimer
I have
movie?
actually. I think the cast he's picked so far looks
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
crazy.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how he.
Just like, thinking you're gonna say something. I keep thinking you're gonna say something really holiday related.
No, not at all.
Sorry, I just need to get this out of my system a little
Oh
bit.
my goodness. Christopher Nolan. Forget what I was going to say
Sorry,
about Oppenheimer.
I was walking around with Jared. We were like pitching ideas for like what
Yeah.
could be a good Santa sketch to do here at the Forest Creek.
Christopher Nolan's
And
Santa
at some
Claus.
point, I think it was me who pitched it, where it's just some guy coming up to his family and being like, "Sorry, kids, Santa Claus isn't going to come this year." And they were like, "Well, what's going on?" "Well, he overdosed in the bathroom on fentanyl." It's just like something about that made me laugh so hard. Like that was the hardest laugh. No, like something about Santa Claus in these situations it just cracks me up way too much. Oh my god, I need to catch a breath or something.
Just Santa in really grimy, mundane situations.
But I mean, like we mentioned, like Santa Claus is a man at a time. But you were gonna say, well,
Oh man, I don't even know why I was gonna.
Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I just saw it today that he.
We get.
Oh my goodness. Okay, he is all about practical effects and like doing things in camera.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and so this movie about the Manhattan Project, he said in an interview that he has recreated the first atomic bomb test that the U.S. did.
Oh.
He's recreated it practically. That's what he said.
It's just like, I got an
Did you
atomic
detonate a
bomb.
nuke? Christopher Nolan, did you detonate a nuke?
How do you even do that?
I think he just blew up a crap ton of TNT in the desert.
Pyrotechnics is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the fireworks over Niagara. You think fireworks are going to be kind of lame, but like the Niagara show was, wow. They really went into it.
I bet that would be impressive.
Yeah.
So Christopher Nolan's obviously helming at the helm of the Santaverse.
Christopher
Right.
Nolan's Santa Claus movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like...
And he's like
yeah.
recruiting all the previous actors who played Santa Claus and will play Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Morgan Freeman's Santa Claus is in there somewhere. You know, you did God. Santa Claus is just
Yeah.
a step up. No, I'm kidding. Who are the other Santas of the Santaverse movie?
I think there's a Korean Santa.
Just like there's a Korean Jesus.
Yeah.
It's Korean Santa.
Yeah, there's a Korean Santa.
He has to face off with Vietnamese Santa.
There's got to be like, I mean, the Santa Claus we all know and love, Tim Allen, is American. I feel like there's got to be a real, like, MAGA Trumper Santa, right?
Yes. Like a real, it's Donald Trump,
Oh my goodness.
but he's Santa. And instead of white frills, they're like gold. And his hair is like all still like yellow and he's like kind of tan. And his hat just says make the North Pole great again.
And his like head elf is Baron.
Solid gold sleigh. Solid gold. Everything in
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
you show up to the North Pole and it's just a giant tower.
Oh wow.
He's like filming The Apprentice in there. Donald Santa.
Donald Santa.
Santa Trump.
Yeah. He's on the list, but I would say he's probably
Conversely,
like,
I also think there's a Joe Biden Santa out there
yes.
wandering the North Pole.
Just wandering.
Just wondering, they have AIDS, they bring him to the sleigh. It's, like,
I
it's
was
time
in
for
the-
you to go.
I was in the foot.
You eat the cookies, not the children. Another Santa. Pitch another Santa. What we got?
Yeah. Well, I guess are these okay? Well, we already have. I was gonna say okay, so we already have Goblin Santa, so we know that these Santas don't have to be human, right?
How far are you going with this?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to.
I was
Osmosis Jones,
In
like
a
a little
different
single
direction.
cell, a single cell Santa.
I was like, if you were gonna reboot the Santa Claus with a different celebrity,
oh,
and then I was thinking Ice Cube. Ice Cube is Santa,
if okay, the Santa Claus, like the Tim Allen Santa Claus, if
Yeah.
you're gonna reboot it,
but with Ice Cube. It's like, are we there yet?
yeah,
But it's in the North Pole.
which came out 15 years ago or something.
But everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I guess would you reboot it with a?
Need a gangsta Santa.
I feel like at that point just make a new thing, make a new movie, right? We all know.
It's the
We
same
all know.
premise. It's the same premise.
We all know when they reboot the Santa Claus, it's gonna be Tom Holland.
That's what you're probably right. That's what's sad about it. Oh my god, I'm kind of sick of Tom Holland. I don't think he's that good of an actor. I think they just keep putting him everywhere.
Man,
He's not a good Nathan Drake. Was not a good pick. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg kind of good
should
for
have
the
been
role.
should have been Nathan Drake. Yeah.
No, he was Sully.
Yeah, no, but he should have been
Okay.
Nathan Drake.
I don't think about that. I mean,
I think Tom Holland is pretty good as Spider-Man, but like
stop putting him in everything.
you don't need to put him in everything.
Yeah, let's not do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Tom Holland could be the head elf,
Yeah.
and I want to hear him do his normal accent for once.
Yeah.
You know,
Just be British.
I'm Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I'll just do whatever they put in front of me, and I'll pretend to be an American. It's very easy to pretend to be American. You just have to hate other people for no reason at random. I go to McDonald's 12 times
12
a day.
days of Christmas, McDonald's.
I go to McDonald's 12 times a day to try to be like one of these Americans. When pretending to be Peter Parker, I just went on Facebook all day. Sound like that would be Peter Parker.
I found myself in an echo chamber.
All right, we're getting lost here. Oh man.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of Christmas, Chance?
I'll be open here, Raph. I live a pretty privileged life. And for me, Christmas has never been anything but a nice time of year. I'm pretty lucky to have that experience.
Yeah.
So for me, I love Christmas has this vibe to me that I know other people, it's not the same for everyone, but for me, it's like, I just feel like people are happy. People are in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the snow comes down, when the fresh snow comes down, it's like everything's like clean and like covered in a soft blanket. And I don't know, it just feels cozy to me.
It's a beautiful time of year.
Yeah.
The decorations are always fun.
For me, there's lots of people who it's not a nice
No,
time.
it's for everyone. No, I'm kidding. But, especially if you're not of the same religion as me. Yeah, that was one of the hilarious jokes. He's just like, you can't say Merry Christmas anymore. Wow, they let him have one. But I mean, it's just most of the people that celebrate Christmas are not doing it religiously anyway.
No,
we just believe that Santa Claus died for our presents.
Yeah.
But,
Well, everything, all these movies that are Christmas movies, they're always like the true meaning of Christmas is, you know, being with your family and it doesn't matter about presents. And they're right, it doesn't matter about presents. But
one of my favorite atheist takes on Christmas was Dan Harmon's Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas Community episode.
Is that the stop motion one?
Yeah, this is the stop motion one. Because they did this whole thing where it's like the meaning of Christmas is that Christmas has meaning.
Yeah.
It sounds lazy, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to make a movie where it's just like, you forgot this isn't Christmas, it's Saturnalia. It's the pagan tradition.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to break it out and do that.
The druids come out of the woods.
Well, one of the fun Christmas legends is Krampus.
Yeah.
They made movies about that guy,
Yeah.
right? He's like he's anti-Santa.
Yeah.
If you've been really, really naughty, it's not just a piece of coal. You get Krampus comes and visits you.
Could have picked a better name though. Krampus?
Krampus.
Not that scary.
It's with a K though.
I just get a cramp when I run.
Yeah.
I guess Krampus is like the Thanos of the Santaverse, right?
It's the Thanos of the Santa. Oh my god.
It's got to be him.
Yeah.
Jack Frost from the Santa Claus 3. He's there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's a villain. Fred Claus. We'll just
There's like
say
a bunch
whoever.
of different celebrity Santas. Robert Downey Jr. Santa.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that would be a fun kind of.
Yeah.
Who's another good actor that could play Santa?
I feel like there's loads. I mean, Jack Black. You mentioned that
Kevin
earlier.
James. Kevin James Santa.
I don't know.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa Santa. Santa Momoa.
That'd actually be pretty sick. That's the tatted up cyberpunk Santa.
We just put like a robot eye on one.
Yeah.
Terry Crews would make an amazing Santa. No, Terry Crews would make an amazing head elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For which Santa?
It just doesn't matter.
I think he's with
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito's an elf.
Hey, what if the roles were reversed?
What if Danny DeVito's the head elf and all the other elves are regular sized humans that have been shrunk down digitally to Danny DeVito's height?
We do need like a sarcastic Peter Dinklage elf somewhere.
And he's grown up to Danny DeVito's size.
I just watched Jumanji 2.
Oh, that's
Actually,
a good movie.
Good, yeah. This
Both
was
those
one of those
movies.
franchises. I'm
Yeah.
like, this was good. I'm
Yeah.
kind of sick of Dwayne The Rock Johnson a little
Yeah.
bit. I feel like all of his movies are the
He's
same.
the same every time.
But Jumanji was good.
He's the same every time. Well, except Jumanji, he does. I mean, he's Danny DeVito in that one, which is pretty good. In the second Jumanji,
Yeah.
flexing his acting chops a little bit.
Off topic.
I think.
Well, I was asking you what your favorite time of year, like about things about Christmas.
Yeah, I like that it's cozy.
I love the decor, the music. When it comes, the fact that the music comes once a year, that's what
Yes.
makes it okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. What do you think about? When do you think is an acceptable time to start playing Christmas music?
My thing is after November 21st,
Oh,
because that's my birthday.
oh.
So after that is a Christmas
like-
becomes acceptable. Yeah.
My rule has always been like, if you gotta play it early, at least wait until November 12th. Wait until after Remembrance Day.
Late November. Be cool.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah.
I just like to remember to say jingle bells. Our Remembrance Day episode. We did a Remembrance Day episode, basically.
Oh yeah.
Because we did
yeah.
Party on the Western
Front.
Front.
Follow-up.
Yeah, this is another war movie. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
We were gonna do Jojo Rabbit, and then I was like, "Tis the season."
Tis the season. I think World War II Santa. Like, I don't know what he would be.
We did talk about World War II Santa, Nazi Santa.
Yeah.
Santa was on the other side back then, you know?
Yeah. It's alt history.
There's probably, we talked about Trump Santa. There's probably an alt-right Santa.
Oh my goodness.
Only gives presents to certain children. Hey, to be fair, there's a BLM Santa too.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a communist Santa.
I mean, there's infinite Santas.
Infinite Santas. There's
But we
any
need to
kind of
decide
Santa,
which Santas are in the Santa.
believe it or not, Jewish Santa.
Yeah.
I don't think they need that to be honest. I don't know how it fits into the... Oh, what's the guy's
Larry
name?
David.
It's played by Larry David. Oh my god. Hey, why not? You could sell
I can see it.
You could sell
I
it.
can see it. He's just a really frustrated Santa.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Christmas time, like I agree with you 100%, it's very cozy, but that's what makes Christmas sadness. Chef's kiss. It's delicious. I love Christmas, the just depressing Christmas things.
Oh, you know, the Christmas songs that are like slightly
When you play them
somber.
in jazz and it's like a dum 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 dum.
Yeah, and you're like, oh. Yeah, I like
it's
that too.
beautiful because it's like one of the
Yeah.
coziest, happiest times.
Yeah.
But if you could find that island of sadness in
Yeah.
it, it's like beautiful.
Yeah, it gets dark too early. It's cold
This
out.
is my Santa Claus movie. It's like Santa Claus. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
He's feeling like he's not up to the task. He wanders into some bar in Brooklyn. Just sits down at the bar, and it's like a piano jazz bar, and it's all these drunks who they're not making it home for Christmas because they're all losers.
Yeah.
And it's just dum 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 dum. He's like drinking glass after glass of whiskey, contemplating what the heck am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, it just gets worse every year. It's like, am I fit to continue being Santa?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
even is
yeah.
this stupid job? I can't help any of the people who are in here. I'm just rewarding people for being good, and they don't need it. If you're a good kid, if you can afford Christmas presents, you don't need Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so then what is this Santa's next move?
He just drinks in the bar, and it's like it's just that. That's the movie. Is that he just wanders and he has different conversations with drunks, and it's just sad piano jazz of
It's
like
just that
Christmas
same riff.
songs.
Do, 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 do,
It's
over
like
and over again.
Christmas time is here. It's the Charlie Brown.
It's like the
Christmas
ticking
song.
clock in Dunkirk. It's just that the whole movie.
Yeah, because it's getting closer and closer to like the night he's supposed to be out here delivering
Every
presents.
hour the clock like chimes and it's that melody.
He's like bringing out an iPhone. He sees Mrs. Claus is calling him, just hangs up.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like he's just having these depressing conversations about how
But then does the movie end with him like being like it's 11:59? He's like, I gotta do Christmas. Or does it end with him being like, F Christmas?
it ends with him overdosing on fentanyl in the bathroom.
The final shot of the movie is just like a 2-minute long shot of just him limp on the toilet.
It's like panning up. He's like collapsed on the bathroom
Yeah.
floor, and there's just like a little bit of blood coming out from where he hit his
Yeah.
head. And it's
Yeah.
like a slow pan up from that to the bathroom ceiling. It just keeps going up.
Pool of blood's like slowly growing.
You're just slowly dollying vertically upwards
Wow.
as the blood pools because he hit his head. He passed out. He did a drug. He gave in.
Yeah.
Christmas is over.
And then the toilet becomes Santa Claus.
That's one of the last things I want to talk about here.
Yeah.
Santa Claus, one of the things in it, one of the small themes that's in it is that Santa Claus is kind of over.
Yeah.
It's kind of said explicitly
Yeah.
at almost the beginning. That's one of the things I love about this is that they did everything so quick in the beginning.
Yeah, it was so fast.
Yeah.
Just threw us right in.
Christmas is kind of over.
Right.
Santa's kind of over.
What do you like about that theme?
I think it's kind of funny because like I remember being a kid and all the TV shows were about this drama that the kids finding out that there is no Santa Claus. But I grew up believing there is no Santa Claus. There was at no point in time where I'm like Santa Claus exists. I kind of always knew my parents were eating those cookies. I kind of always knew,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to a kid
Yeah.
even. You can suspend your disbelief a little while, but like especially now
Yeah.
because the plot of
yeah.
every one of these things is
Yeah.
that Santa's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one day, you're like, I'm going to catch him. Like I did.
Yeah.
And I stayed up most of the night behind a couch,
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
Never came.
Yeah.
And I look out, Oh, it's because the presents are already there.
Yeah.
Because my parents put them there.
Yeah. Because they put them there before they went to bed.
Either I missed them or he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so long as he doesn't exist, I may as well have the rest of these cookies.
Yeah.
Because that's what my parents would just come and take like a bite.
Oh, yeah.
And I would come and finish it.
Yeah.
Whatever, Santa. I get it. I don't know. Is Santa Claus kind of over? Are you even going to bother lying to your kids anymore?
Yeah. I mean, I've actually been thinking about that recently. And if I have one day when I have kids, it's like, am I going to do that? Am I going to tell them that Santa's a thing? I don't know.
I once heard this guy explain it. He was doing this religious argument. He's like saying that people asked if God is real or not. Is Santa Claus real? Well, let's examine the facts. There seems to be imagery of him everywhere.
Yeah.
We all have this concept of him in our heads.
Yeah.
And because we all act enough like it's real, there's presents under the tree, and we can kind of simulate Santa Claus existing without him actually having to exist.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of a roundabout way to talk about religion in some sense. Because some people are like, when they try to take that objective view at it, they're like, oh, okay, so there's a system of belief that is precipitating good things. Mm-hmm. In this case, Santa Claus precipitates holiday cheer, generosity, giving gifts. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really have to exist more than he already does.
Yeah.
Except maybe you should go visit some places that need you. We all got presents. Thanks, old man. Go to somebody who needs it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go visit Central Africa, you son of a gun.
Bring them all clean needles. No, I'm kidding. Santa Claus delivers the missiles to Ukraine.
Wow, yeah.
That's what we need. Can Santa Claus just get me a tank of gas? That's all I want.
Yeah.
Just fill up my car.
Yeah, can Santa Claus just like lower the price of gasoline?
How about you pay my taxes this year?
Yeah.
Just do that.
Because we know for sure you're not paying your taxes, Santa.
Unless CTV, it has wrong or whatever place put that article out.
Yeah.
It's called an offshore account, dummy. Yeah, that's my side hustle Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of Santa I would be. Start wearing suits.
What he does is he goes in and he finds like important people and he pays their taxes for them. But now they owe him a favor, right? Like he comes back to them later.
Do that. I help them launder their money through the North Pole.
Yeah. I own you. That's Santa talking to her.
Oh my god. Is Santa over? Are you even gonna tell your kids?
I feel like it's a fun thing. It's like a fun little game to play along, But like
I'm raising my kids on pre-Coca-Cola Santa. We're putting out pieces of cheese, kids.
I'm raising my kids on.
He's just wearing black robes and holly. We're gonna go with a full pagan.
Yeah, pagan Santa.
Yeah, not Coca-Cola Santa.
No.
We're going Norwegian Santa.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise my kids on Goblin Santa.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to this Christmas?
Yeah. I mean, I always look forward to Christmas. It's different when you're an adult and you spending all the money on stuff.
What'd you get for last Christmas? What was like your favorite gift that you received?
I got a book. I got C.S. Lewis's sci-fi space trilogy that he wrote.
He wrote a sci-fi space trilogy?
Yeah. And he wrote it in like the 30s.
What is this called?
It's just called the Space Trilogy.
What?
It's really
I've
good.
never. How do we know? First off, Santa Claus appears in Narnia.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite places here. Because that's like the most honest to God Santa Claus somehow shows up in Narnia.
Narnia Santa.
Which is a great, cameo for him.
Yeah.
But C.S. Lewis, who wrote Narnia, who existed around the time of Tolkien, wrote a space trilogy?
So he wrote the space trilogy because he and Tolkien had this like bet against each other where they were like making fun of what they called at that time, what we now call sci-fi, they called space-time books.
Oh.
And so Lewis was like, I'm going to write a space book. And Tolkien was like, I'm going to write a time book, like a time travel book. And Tolkien never finished his.
Oh.
And Lewis wrote 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But,
anyways.
because I'm never much of a wish list person to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about like, what can I get myself? Well, I don't mean that in the sense that I'm selfish. I just mean in the sense that, like, I think practically about the things that I want. And it's never like, hey, I need a $3,000 camera. Can you get me that for Christmas? No, I would never tell anybody that.
No.
It's
Yeah.
some
Those-
socks.
It's
I could
like
use
those
some socks.
commercials with the car with the bow on it.
But last year, my parents, they went to a flying cheese shop and they got me a selection of cheeses.
Oh,
and
that's a good gift.
that was pretty fantastic.
That's a good gift.
I've become more and more into cheese lately,
Yeah.
and I love the various
Cheese
types.
is so good.
When I see a charcuterie board,
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that last episode a little, I think, but happy holidays,
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas from us here at the Forest Creek.
Happy Hanukkah.
If you Kwanzaa,
Kwanzaa.
we don't give Kwanzaa enough love,
Happy Kwanzaa.
even though it sounds kind of made up. I'm kidding.
The jury's out on Kwanzaa.
Joking. I respect everybody.
Yes.
Probably do more episodes this December. I've recorded a bunch.
Excellent.
Now I just gotta put them out. In the meantime, I would love for people to submit their questions. We will answer your questions, your topics. I will rant about them vociferously. I don't even know if that's a word. Vociferously. I will rant about them.
Any goblin-based questions?
I will bring Chance especially on if you ask goblin-related questions. That will be our New Year's episode. So submit your questions, submit your topics. We'd love to hear from you. All of it at the Forest Creek. Primarily on Instagram. So where you can find us, you can listen to us on Spotify, on youtube.com/@therealforestcreek. Yeah, so at the Forest Creek, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, those are the primary places. You can also email us directly. Send us your memoirs. Send us your, what do they call those things before somebody commits a massive crime? Manifesto.
Manifesto, yeah.
Send us your manifesto. I'm kidding. Send us your happiest and saddest Christmas memories. Those would be really nice. I'd love to share those with people.
Yeah.
In the meantime, happy holidays. Merry Christmas once more. What? Were you going to add
I
something?
was gonna make a joke, but now I've. May the forked tongue of
Goblin
May the
Santa.
forked tongue of Goblin Santa bless your cheek as you fall asleep this Christmas. Sorry, you can whatever.
I was just trying to come up with something to say, but I feel like that was just too perfect.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, folks. Goodbye.